I'm Robin, and welcome inside Robin's World. I'm going to do a book tag today. I wasn't tagged by anybody, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's called the No Disclaimers book tag, and I like this one. It's just a bunch of questions, and so I'll answer the questions. Let's see. Which trope or tropes in books annoy you the most? I don't like insta-love, which most people don't like insta-love. It's not realistic. I think my worst thing in a book is, and it comes from all the romance books I read when I was a kid, but the perfection of man. You know, the book is usually told by a woman's point of view, and then the guy is, you know, he's tall and he's rugged and he has flat abs and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I think it just really gives girls the wrong idea of what men are really like. You know what I mean? I mean, you can see that she's not perfect because you hear her insecurities because it's usually told from her point of view, but the man doesn't have any insecurities or whatever. So I think it's just not realistic, and I think I would like it better. I like a flawed hero. We'll just say that. So I don't like that trope. I don't like insta-love. I don't like perfect characters, and that's all I can think of there. Which writers or writers do you feel are overrated or overhyped? I don't really think James Patterson is overrated because he really is a great writer. I mean, he's amazing. But if you see any of his books now, it says written by James Patterson and someone else. So I think he comes up with the idea of the story, maybe does an outline for him. I don't really know, but I think he probably does an outline, and then they write his book for him, and then they cash in because people are buying a book because they thought it was written by James Patterson. And I don't know, kind of think that's cheating. That's what I think. What are your least favorite books you've read since joining BookTube? This one's really easy for me. I've got it here. It was a book of the month pick. Still Lives. No, it wasn't a book of the month. It was the Reese Witherspoon book. I just didn't like it. It was too snooty. It didn't seem to go anywhere. By the time it was done, I really didn't care who had done it. And when I did find out, I was like, okay, that's weird. I mean, it was just kind of, I don't know. It was just not really a great book for me. I think some people love it. Obviously, Reese Witherspoon loved it. So, maybe I'm just not fancy enough for that. We'll put that back there. Okay, so next. A terrible ending that ruined an otherwise quality book. I'm going to go with the book series because I read Divergent and I loved Divergent. I liked Insurgent, but I loved Divergent. And then there's Allegiant, which you see I don't have here. I've got the 2-pack. I heard how she ended this one, the third one, the Allegiant. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to buy it. So for me, it ended with Insurgent. And I'm not going to say anything else because if you haven't read it, then I don't want to give anything away. But Veronica Roth, she didn't end it the way I think it should have ended. And like I said, I'm not going to say anything else. But which fictional character or characters do you wish was not killed off? Okay. Fictional characters that I wish were not killed off. Of course, this is kind of a spoiler, so it's going to be a Harry Potter spoiler. So if you have not read the last book, you might forward about a minute into this video. When she killed Hedwig off, my heart was broken. I mean, just dead. And the other one, you know, was the other one that really bothered me was Colin Creevey, because he wasn't even supposed to be there. He was supposed to be gone. And so, you know, he snuck back in and all of that. And, you know, it's just like, he shouldn't have been there. So why'd you kill him off? Now, I do realize she could have killed everyone off because it's her story. And I should probably be happy, you know, that she didn't kill off Ron or Hermione or somebody like that. But for me, Colin Creevey was just kind of a worthless death. It didn't add anything to the story other than just, you know, war is bad and people die. So that's all I got out of that. So Colin Creevey and Hedwig. Didn't like it. Some bookish pet peeves. I'd say my biggest pet peeve would be whenever the books get real preachy, and you know, I don't read really, I do read to learn things also, but if I pick up a book for that purpose is one thing, but if I pick up a book to be entertained and wowed and all of that, I don't want it preaching to me the author's point of view. But like I said, sometimes I do pick up books to learn. So if I pick it up to learn, that's one thing. But if I'm reading for pleasure and they're preaching their political or religious views to me, it really just kind of annoys me. But what are some books I feel should have more recognition? I'm going to go with this one, The Changeling by Victor Laval. I think is how you say his name. If you guys haven't read this, this is really good. It's really a good one for this time of year too, because it's kind of spooky. It's a retelling. It says this one is a dark fairy tale of New York full of magic, loss, myth, and mystery, love, and madness. The Changeling is mesmerizing, monumental work by that Marlon James, an author of A Brief History of Seven Killings, said that. And I agree. I mean, this is just really, really good. It does not get nearly enough recognition. You guys need to read it. I have 2 copies, so if you want to borrow a copy and, you know, you live around here, let me know. Oh, let's see. And what are your thoughts on censoring or banning books? Okay, so I obviously don't believe in banning books. I think people should be able to read whatever they want. If an author can get it, you know, published, more power to them. I don't really believe in censoring books. That being said, when my daughter was 12, I wouldn't want her reading, well, I don't know, even something like this. It would have been too dark and too scary for her probably. You know, if there was a lot of sex or violence or, you know, something like that that I didn't feel was appropriate for my daughter or my son for that matter. I think it's okay as a parent for me to say, no, you're going to wait until you're a little bit older to read that. I mentioned in another video, before I let them start reading the Harry Potter books, I actually read it first to make sure that I thought it was okay for them to read. And of course I did. But in general, public, no, I think if it's okay with the parents, kids should be able to read what they feel like reading. I know probably if I was told I couldn't read something when I was 16, I probably would have found a way to find a book and I would have hid it and I would have read it anyway. So, you know, there's that. So, I don't know. The last thing is to tag someone. I don't really know if you want to do the tag. I'd say do it. It was an easy, lot of fun one to think about, and I'm not sure who was the originator of it. I heard about it from Paperback Biker. She's awesome. If you guys haven't checked her out, be sure and check her out. I guess she kind of tagged me. She said, like Oprah, you get a tag, you get a tag, you get a tag. She's so cute. So that is all I have. And so if you've read any of these, let me know. If you have different opinions than me, please let me know, because I'm definitely not offended by people with other opinions than me. And that's it. Thanks. Bye.